Hi, Nikki. Thank you so much for stopping on by.
Absolutely. I'm so glad I found you.
I have been trying to get you back on the show for so long because last time you came, you had some kind of issue that put you off until the last 10 minutes of the show.
Oh, that's right. Because we ended up getting on the show late, but I've got plenty of staff here. We'll make sure that happens again.
And we had Charlie on for an hour. I said, we can't do this without having Nikki on for at least another 50 minutes.
Yes, we'll make sure.
We only got 5 minutes today.
We only have a little bit today, but I promise you that we are going to come back onto the show. We'll do a full, I can talk about this stuff all day. So.
Absolutely. and I hope you will, because they've given you so much material lately to work on in regards to your campaign is concerned. See, every time you turn around, the DeSantis campaign gives even the Republicans, reason to get upset at them.
Yeah, of course. We're sitting in a situation right now where there's so much on the ballot this year. One, obviously, I have a primary in August and then a November election, but this governor is going further and further into this extreme, taking away democracy, taking away women's rights and voting rights, and certainly when it comes to cannabis, we're still waiting for the Black Farmer and Pickford license.
Absolutely,
we're still waiting for it. Where is it? It's unconscionable, and we're still waiting on the other 20 plus licenses to be handed out.
Well, when we first started this business, this industry out, we had to deal with Governor Rick Scott and his slow walking of the thing. And I heard it oftentimes of people who were inside the Department of Health that it was from the executive branch that things were being slowed down.
Yep, that's correct.
Not only from having a crony capital situation in regards to the registration system, which didn't work.
Correct.
And the slowing down of the fact that we haven't had a new license that's been awarded since 2015, except through a legal judge.
Correct.
So how are we going to fix that?
We're going to let me governor. That's how we fix this. That's an easy one, Gary. But look, that's how we have to fix it, because we know that's exactly the same thing that's happening today too. We're hearing that unfortunately they're slow rolling, giving out the Pickford license.
Yep.
They're slow rolling on putting out the rest of the applications for the next round.
Yep.
And so this is becoming intentional. And so when I get there as governor, not only are we going to be giving out more licenses, we got to make sure we have a robust medical program. Because I know from the medical doctor perspective, we need to make sure we've got medical strong. That means we're opening up to patients. That means we're breaking up the vertical, making it horizontal. So no matter what part of the program they're in, you can be a part of. But then we also get to legalization. That's something that has to happen. And we also need to make sure, because right now of the 22, I think it's only Cookies, which was because it was bought,
yep,
is only minority owned. The 22 license holders, there's not a single minority-owned license, and that is doing such a disservice to the people that have been, most affected by the war on drugs.
And with all due respect from Berner, he really wasn't personally affected by the war on drugs. He's a millionaire in his own right. Starting out in San Francisco from the bottom, working his way up, a rap performer, everything else. Where are the mom and pop minority businesses that are supposed to be here? They're just not here, and they're not coming. And I don't consider that a minority business. As far as the Pickford license is concerned, I mentioned this to the lady from my minorities for medical marijuana. Having one license for minorities is not social equity.
Of course it's not social equity at all. And I don't understand. This is what I'm trying to push this narrative to. There was 12 like that actually applied. And so we're supposed to be giving out anywhere between, I think, 20 and 22 licenses.
Yeah.
Give out all 12 of them. Who cares? If they're qualified, just give them out. Why are we going through this process?
Well, they were given $17 million to grade the applications, which they haven't even done yet. I'm not even certain they got their $17 million yet.
I don't know what the hold. I know what the holdup is. The holdup is they don't want to give it out. And so this is a really big problem, and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be rectified. And, in talking about small businesses, you're right. They're not here coming into the medical program, but they are coming here. Look where we are. Look at the amount of local businesses that are here. Since I was able to work on legalizing hemp in our state, the amount of small businesses that have opened up all over the state, the amount of jobs that we've been able to create on the hemp side. And that's what I've said to everybody. I couldn't fix medical yet because I'm not governor yet, but I was able to create a hemp industry that was going to open the doors to entrepreneurs, to if you want to cultivate, if you want to manufacture, if you want to do retail, whatever form it is. And it's exciting to see all of these small businesses, and a lot of them are minority owned, a lot of them are women owned, getting an opportunity to be part of this industry.
Now, I'm looking forward to the legislature actually listening to us. It seems to be over the last few years that the executive branch has told the legislature what to do, and they went ahead and they followed along with that. Now, if you become a governor, I should say when you become governor, and you have to deal with the legislature that is still on a top-down basis as far as the House is concerned, and I'm not certain where the heck the Senate's going to go. How are we going to work with them to make things move forward? How are we going to get a bipartisan issue to finally act in a bipartisan manner?
Look, here's the thing, Gary. Ron doesn't like this. He said, we've all heard them. He say, what the stench of smoke, I think was what his words are, and that every
Yeah,
state,
it's putrid.
putrid, right, and that every state is regretting legalizing. I haven't heard one state that has said that, not one. But the second that we start, what I say, cut the head of the snake, and the rest of the snake dies. So when Ron is gone, and you have a Democrat that's in there that is obviously pro legalization from this industry, understands what this means, not just for the economic side, social justice, criminal justice, healthcare, the whole gamut. Then you start working with the legislature, because I know that you've had plenty of these conversations. How many of our Republican legislators come to me and say, "Hey, I want to help, but I can't." So many of the Republicans understand that they've lost this argument. They all smoke to begin with. So let's also put that out there.
I'm not saying how I know, but I know.
And so the second that you get somebody like Ron out and you start having these real conversations with leadership and say enough is enough. We're going to get to either legalization at the federal level, do it here in Florida. It's taxable revenue. It's good paying jobs. Let's do it smart. Let's regulate it. And I think that we're going to get there. And if not, we're going to call special sessions. I'm going to hold up pieces of legislation. I'm going to hold up their budget priorities. This, as you all know, this is one of my main priorities.
Now, I hate primaries because they're always like a bloodbath, and it feels like the party is eating their own, so to speak. But I got a flyer yesterday which has a big picture of you and Matt Gaetz, and it was from when we were still working for Ignite Florida.
No, actually, Gary, this is even worse. That picture that's on that flyer was taken in Congressman Gates' office when he was in Washington, D.C., and I was going up to D.C. to lobby for two issues. I was lobbying for the congressional delegation to not vote for the USMCA, which hurts agriculture, and I was lobbying to make sure that in the disaster package for Hurricane Michael, that money was actually being afforded to our timber industry. And so Matt and I was in his office lobbying him on these two issues, with meeting these issues for our state. We did a Facebook Live talking about fire suppression in the Panhandle. And so that is the picture that they took of us doing our jobs, which is what you should want from your elected officials. Do I think that, obviously we all know Matt from his time in the legislature working on this issue, and everything else about that is a complete lie from Charlie. Charlie knows that. He knows that I don't talk to Matt. And anything that we discuss is dealing with marijuana and things that represent our state.
Well, I know you got to go ahead and speak, but I'm so grateful you had a chance to stop by. And we are going to get you on for at least the other 45 minutes.
Promise.
All right.
Awesome.
Fist bump.
Yes, sir.
Watch for BA5.
Well, thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care.